Hi everyone, I'm Steve Bodkin. Welcome to another edition of The Way at Work. Hey, I hope you find this video informative and helpful in your everyday job. As you might remember in the last video, we discussed the concept of ramping up our efforts to grow our property management business by serving properties that currently aren't owned by National Church Residences. This actually enables us to expand our property management excellence to properties that we don't currently serve today. Happy to report that we've made some good progress in this area. Christina Sanchez, Vice President of Business and Leadership Development, actually leads this effort. She targets properties, tries to determine whether they're a good match for us. She writes proposals, even closes deals. But it takes a lot of effort from other people in the organization as well. Christina is now joining us via Skype. Hi, Christina. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Steve. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk about this new initiative in pursuing property management services for others besides National Church Residences. I wanted to take this opportunity to share with everyone. You might be asking, well, what type of property will you be pursuing? And so I wanted to share this quick summary with you that might be helpful as you help us perhaps look for those opportunities as well. Well, as you can see, we're going to be looking for properties that participate in affordable housing programs, such as HUD and the Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Program, aimed at low-income seniors and other vulnerable populations. It is possible that we would consider some family properties, preferably looking for properties that are 70+ units with an opportunity for us to become an owner. And certainly within an area where we already have a presence so we can utilize our current team to help us make a great transition. You also might be asking, what else can I do to help? And I have some very simplistic but very critical points that I'd like for you to keep in mind. The first is, please help us keep our current managed accounts happy. And those clients are our best referral for new business. So I'd like to make sure that our property is performing well and we're keeping great communication with those owners. And the next is to ensure that your property and your staff is always at their best and knowledgeable. Current clients will be visiting your properties and sometimes unannounced. They want to see what the experience is going to be like if we were managing for them. So please be at your best. Next, please, I have to remind you, direct opportunities to me. Even if you're not sure they're in our sweet spot, I'll be happy to take it from there. We're also going to ask you to be prepared to help us, maybe inspect potential properties, take pictures, or provide marketing information about your surrounding community. So we're excited about the opportunity to engage you. I'm really happy to report that we have already had some success. St. Mary Development Corporation out of Dayton, Ohio, has agreed to contract with National Church Residences to manage 8 of their communities, which is 620 units. St. Mary Development Corporation is nonprofit, faith-based. They're a developer and they also provide home and community-based services. 7 of these properties are in Dayton and 1 is in Xenia. 7 of them are low-income housing tax credit communities and 1 is a Pratt community. I'm really thrilled about the beautiful properties that we'll be bringing into our portfolio.
Christina, thank you so much for this information. I hope everybody in the organization clearly understands how they can help out. Congratulations on that first deal. It must feel great. Now I'd like to talk a little bit about service coordination. We've got a couple topics that are touching the service coordination portion of our business. One is an organizational change, to where we're looking at senior service coordinators and regional service coordinators. The second one is more of an expansion of their existing roles and responsibilities, to where they'll be more proactive in the work that they do. Now, Michelle Missler, she's our Director of Support Services. She's joining us today and she'll give us a little bit more detail about these particular issues. Hi, Michelle. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here today to talk to you all about some great opportunities we've created for service coordinators. The first opportunity I want to talk about is a position called the Senior Service Coordinator. This is a position that's been around for many years, but it's something that we're going to enhance and make better. This position will essentially be a mentor to their colleagues and service coordinators out in the field. They will help onboard and train new hires, assure that they are understanding how to document, how to do their day-to-day job. The other exciting opportunity I wanted to talk to you today about is a position called a Regional Senior Service Coordinator position. This position will provide mentorship to the Senior Service Coordinator position I just spoke about. This position will allow for the communication gap between regionals, quality assurance, and service coordinators to be closed. These positions are essential to where we are going as an organization with the service coordination role. Service coordinators for years have been asked to sit back, wait for residents to come to their office and help them. Now we're asking them to transform. We're asking them to become those individuals in the building that know everything about every one of the residents, that allow them to know that. The service coordinators are being asked to go and find the resident on the 3rd floor that you've never met before. Those residents are the ones that we know are the most frail and the ones who need our help the most.
Thank you so much for the update. This is really exciting news. It's really going to transform the way service coordination is done here at National Church Residences.
Thanks for having me.
Now I'd like to turn our attention to care coordination. You know, we continue to talk more and more about National Church Residences taking on more responsibility for our residents' health and well-being. We hear terms like integrating healthcare and housing, and integrating housing with supportive services, and care coordination. What does all this mean? It's becoming more and more real to me as the days go on, and we're hoping to make it a little bit more real for you today. I recently visited a property of ours called Avondale, located here in Columbus, Ohio. It's a state-of-the-art facility that pulls these concepts together. Let me give you a quick overview of the Avondale property. Now, Avondale is really a campus. It's got a couple of mid-rise buildings, and it's got cottage-style apartments surrounding that building. It's 100 units. That 100 units are comprised of market rate, HUD, and tax credit. There's actually a Center for Senior Health located there now, which is basically an adult day center. We have services there that get coordinated for transportation, housekeeping, linen service, meals, even home health care. We've got nursing and therapy support. We're soon going to be adding aging at home medical practice. Now, Avondale is a classic example of how healthcare is integrated with housing. Now, I was at Avondale recently, and I met with Julie Sofranco, who's the care coordinator at that particular facility, and she shared some thoughts about how she's delivering those services for the residents at that property. Julie, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Steve. It's nice to be here. We have some people with some dementia or Alzheimer's disease that are living in a couple relationship. And so the spouse is the primary caregiver. But we know as they continue to decline, that isn't always what is needed. There's a relatively strong need for more care and more supervision for an individual with some memory issues and dementia. And having the adult day program on our campus has been just a life-saving gift for many of these individuals. Another example of what I consider success in maintaining independence. We have a resident that is relatively new to the property. She's probably been there a few months, is a diabetic, and also has dementia. And she had been in and out of the hospital on numerous occasions because of her inability to manage her diabetes. And we were very concerned about her ability to be independent. But we talked with the family, and we were able to enroll her in the adult day program. And because of that, she is now successfully maintaining independence. She has people assisting her with her insulin and her medications. And she's very happy. I visited her the other day, and she said that she feels like this is a real good solution for her. And we feel comfortable knowing that she can maintain independence, have the day support of care, medication management, and then be okay in the evening to rest in her own home. It's really a lifesaver for a lot of families. Up until recently, you know, many of individuals with these diagnoses would have been in long-term care because there weren't any other options. But now, with the support of the Adult Day Program and home care services and community agencies, we can do everything we can to honor the wishes of these individuals and provide the kinds of support that they need to be able to live independently.
You know, thank you so much for the information. This has been very, very helpful. We are doing things at this property that saves healthcare costs. So when you think about it, here's a person that's been in and out of the hospital because they were having trouble with their medication. But now we're helping them with the medication through the adult daycare, and it's keeping them from going to the hospital. Can you feel how it would be to have a spouse and living independently, and the spouse starts going through memory loss, and you're struggling to try and care for this individual 24/7. You can do it for a little while, but 24/7 is getting difficult. And really in our society, the next step is to take the spouse and find a higher level of care for them. It's probably some sort of a dementia care or at least assisted living to where now you're separated from them. We've got a situation at Avondale to where we can keep those spouses together and the one spouse can care for the other, but during the day, they can go someplace where they can get help, they can be stimulated differently in their brain. Can you feel this? This is such a joy to be part of this mission. I hope this has been worthwhile to you. I hope that it's been educational for you. And I wish you a very blessed day.